Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to another Star Wars video. Now this is for episode 9 and this is quite exciting stuff, and because now more than ever the time for speculation is very real, since Star Wars is filming very soon for episode 9, and we've actually got our first kind of like half leak in terms of filming, because it looks like they have returned to Cardington Sheds to do some filming. Now what's significant about this, you may wonder? This is where they filmed for the Rebel base on Yavin 4 for Rogue One most recently, and also A New Hope. So it makes you think, why are they going back here again? Now the person who is claiming all of this is a guy by the name of Trevor Monk, and he reported a couple of photos. Now one which has been photoshopped just to put the episode 9 filming kind of thing on there, but he is saying that the news is very real. But this photo you're seeing on the screen right now is supposedly of like the whole pre-production kind of thing or setup for what they're doing with Star Wars episode 9 at Cardington Sheds. So now naturally everyone is going around the reporting that Star Wars episode 9 is going back to Cardington Sheds, and you know, is it possible that the Resistance could be going back to Yavin 4? Now at the same time, it is almost a little bit too early to be speculating as to like what they could be using Cardington Sheds for again. Like, is it actually the Yavin 4 Resistance or Rebel base, or could they just be using this space again and building something new in there? Either way guys, as you know, speculation is fun. So maybe with the renewed spark of hope that Luke Skywalker gave the Resistance, they could have actually gathered their forces back to Yavin 4 like we've seen many times before in the movies, and it would just be like really cool to see stuff pop up from previous films, and I feel like Yavin 4 would be a good fit for that. Fun fact as well, some of you may know this, some of you may not, but Poe Dameron is actually his homeworld is actually Yavin 4, so maybe Poe does actually have the idea to head back to Yavin 4 and use that old Rebel base as this kind of home front to fight against the First Order in that last film, to conclude it for once and for all. But some people out there on the interwebs are speculating that it could actually be used, if we are going to Yavin 4, for a place for Leia's funeral, because obviously Carrie Fisher isn't with us anymore, and they're going to have to figure out a way to explain that in the film. So there are a few ideas floating out there. Now the thing is, I'm not so sure about this, and also a time jump is obviously very likely. I doubt it's going to be like a few weeks. So I'm just wondering, are they really gonna, with other ideas out there on the interwebs, you know, gotta kind of conclude Leia's journey in the opening crawl and maybe follow through with a very quick funeral scene on Yavin 4, for example, maybe at the Rebel base, and then immediately after this opening crawl, we see a very quick, you know, funeral scene, and so it doesn't take too much time of the film. But, you know, at the same time, you know, it's still kind of important, as unfortunately we lost Carrie in real life, and there does need to be some conclusion. And as many people believe, just including that in the opening crawl, for example, you know, months have passed, General Leia, blah blah has passed, blah blah. Like, are they really gotta end that in the opening crawl? I'm really not sure. At the same time, they said they're not going to use Carrie Fisher at all, but at the same time, you can still have a funeral without, you know, using a digitized reinvention of Carrie Fisher's face. I would love to know what you guys think about that. Could Yavin 4, if this is actually going to be what they're shooting at Cardington Sheds, you know, if they would even use it for the funeral? I don't know. I'm kind of split on this, as I've mentioned. I do feel like they're obviously going to address Leia, but if they're not using Carrie Fisher, then maybe they can do like an obscure funeral thing. Some people were saying if they didn't do this for Han and Luke, then why would they do it for Leia? One argument there is we actually got to see those two pass away, but we're not going to have that scene obviously with Leia, so maybe opening crawl, as I said, and then quick funeral scene, maybe like a minute or two, and then I guess moving on, and the Resistance are still going to use Yavin 4 as a base to fight the First Order against from there on out after the funeral. I don't know guys, I'll just leave that one up to you. All we know is that apparently this news is real and they are shooting there, but everyone's guess is kind of valid at this point, because we won't know until we know. But guys, I thought I'd use this as an opportunity to talk about the recent Adam Driver news. Apparently he has also been training with multiple people, and in addition to this, supposedly there was some storyboard or concept art leaked that shows a description of 6 shaded figures with primitive weapons in front of a tall structure. Now guys, if that sounds like anything, that sounds like the Knights of Ren to me. Now this kind of makes sense. Like, if Adam Driver is training in time for obviously the filming that is happening very soon, then along with this concept art and the storyboard and stuff of the 6 shaded figures with the primitive weapons, just like we saw in Rey's Force flashback vision, those would be the Knights of Ren, and it's just interesting that they might actually be in episode 9, but also it makes very much sense at the same time. And also, as I said, detailed in this, apparently these shaded figures were in front of a tall structure, and now everybody for the longest time since Rogue One has wanted Vader's Castle to pop up in Star Wars again. Now, how perfect would it be if Kylo Ren was with the Knights of Ren, or the Knights of Ren this whole time have just been chilling on Mustafar at Vader's Castle, and maybe Kylo might be going there again in the film, or that's where they're kind of chilling. I don't know, this is anyone's guess at the minute. And either way, guys, with Kylo Ren now being Supreme Leader, essentially, you know, the same as like an Emperor type role, he would need his own guard, much like how Snoke had the Praetorian Guards, and then Sidious had the Royal Guards. So how about those guys being the Knights of Ren, which we were dying to see in at least The Last Jedi, because we got a glimpse of them in The Force Awakens, but nope, we didn't get them. But the thing is, at the same time, it would be a bit bittersweet with them being introduced in episode 9, for them to obviously only get part off really in this last film, because normally, and especially with the Skywalker saga ending, odds are that the good is going to triumph over evil. So with us wanting the Knights of Ren in episode 9, and apparently Rian Johnson wanted that as well, but only kind of used the Praetorian Guards as a substitute, with us getting that in episode 9, it's just a little, I'm not going to say it's a little bit too late, but it almost is. It's going to be really cool, but they're going to be built up to be defeated quickly, you know. But I hope it's not a freaking reinvention of how Sidious just slayed the whole Jedi Council. That was way too quick. Hopefully Rey doesn't do that. Hopefully the Knights of Ren, if they are coming to episode 9, because they're going to be essentially Kylo, the Emperor Kylo, you know, the Supreme Leader Kylo's inner guard, his version of the Praetorian Guards, then hopefully they don't get slain by Rey. Hopefully they are actually strong characters that haven't just been built up over this time to just be, I don't know, diminished. But that is all I've got to talk about in this video, guys. Let me know what you think of Star Wars Episode 9 being shot at Cardington Sheds again. As I said, it is quite likely it would be Yavin 4, just because, you know, Rogue One, Yavin 4 was shot there. Star Wars A New Hope, Yavin 4 was shot there. Let me know your ideas as to what they could be using Yavin 4 for, or what maybe else you think they might be shooting there. And also, guys, let me know what you think about the rumors of the Knights of Ren coming to Episode 9, because that would be really, really, really cool. But other than that, everybody, if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you want to stay more up to date with Star Wars news just like this and other Star Wars videos, be sure to subscribe to never miss out on one. As always, all of my links are in the description, to my Patreon, to my social media. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and may the Force be with you always.